Good morning, everyone. I do hope you're all well today. Welcome to Toolbox Tuesday. It is November 22 today of 2022. If you are into numerology, which I am not really, I'm learning about, but definitely today is a fantastic day for numbers. And I'm not gonna lie, I went to buy a lottery ticket for my retreat center yesterday. So yeah, welcome to those of you chiming in live, thank you. And to those of you coming back for the replay, thanks for chiming back in. Today I want to talk about choice. So this morning I was woken up by a lovely scam phone call at 5:55 a.m. And this is the third one I've had this week, saying that there's credit card charges going on my credit card. And I'm not one of those people that picks up the phone and just hangs it up. I actually like to push number one so I can actually speak to a human being and tell them that one, they need to remove my number from the list, two, I'm calling the police, and three, I'm not very happy with them. And this morning, I'll have to say, I was not a nice person. And then I went back to bed, and then I laid there and I felt my anxiety growing and growing and growing to the point where I literally had to get out of bed. The old stories, the old negative thought patterns were just racing through my head. And I thought, okay, I have a choice to lay here and be stuck in these stories, or I can choose to get up and do something about it. And so I did. I chose to get out of bed. I went downstairs to my sauna and I took out my journal and I wrote all the negative things that were coming up for me. And I didn't make them wrong. I just wrote because I needed to get it out of my mind and reset. I think, we choose our friends. We choose our partners. We choose to be healthy. We choose to exercise. We choose to take on other people's stuff, which I'm really good at. We choose to focus on the negative, or we can choose to focus on the positive. We can choose to do it ourselves, which I'm really guilty of as well. Or we can choose to ask for help, which I'm learning to do. Every day we have an opportunity to make choices. But do we make these choices consciously? Or do we make these choices because it's what we've always done? Trauma is something that keeps showing up for me over and over. And Gabor Mate, who I love, I'm sure you've seen him come up. He's got a new book out, and he is relentless right now on getting out the story on trauma and how there's so many opportunities to let go of this trauma that many of us hold on to. And I personally don't believe that there is any person on this planet has escaped some form of trauma, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual, some sort of event that has happened in their lives. And so what I would say is that, for many years, I've lived in this place of reaction because of the trauma that I went through. And almost like I was on autopilot. And, if something didn't go my way, I would get mad. Or if somebody yelled at me, I would yell back. If something didn't go as I expected, I would be frustrated. And so what if I had a choice? What if we could always choose? What if I slowed down enough in each moment and took a deep breath to not yell, to not react, to not freak out, because that is what I have always done. What if I have a choice to be better in that moment? What if? You know, I choose not to make my anxiety wrong and get stuck in my old stories. But this has been a choice. A choice. You know, I've used alcohol for many years to numb myself from a lot of the trauma that I've experienced in my life and the anxiety. And with help from a life coach, I decided that I didn't want to keep choosing alcohol. And so what I did is I made a list of how alcohol doesn't serve me. And so I know, one, it increases my anxiety significantly. Number two, it significantly decreases my sleep. Number three, it makes me look super tired and have huge bags under my eyes and makes me look old. And number four, it increases my anger and my reactionary behavior significantly, which is not good for anybody around me or me. Because why do I want to be in a place of anger all the time? And then finally, it costs me a lot of money. And so what I did is I put that list on my fridge, and every time I would go to the fridge to open the door to get my white wine, my promise to myself was that I would read that list. All the things. Makes my anxiety go up. Makes me feel tired. Makes me reactionary. And that didn't mean that I wasn't going to choose the alcohol, but it did mean that I slowed down enough to not always do what I've always done, and gave myself an opportunity to choose and make a different choice. Now, I still make wrong choices around alcohol, and I'm not making alcohol wrong. I'm saying alcohol is wrong for me. It doesn't make me feel good. And I will have, like, I went out on Saturday night and enjoyed a nice martini, and it was fabulous, and I drank lots of water when I went with it, and I got to enjoy. And that was a choice. So, you know, I guess I would say, you know, the other thing that I chose to do was be frustrated with my husband. Because there I had asked him several times, you know, why do I keep drinking alcohol? This is very frustrating. And I would get mad at him because he could drink alcohol and it didn't affect him. Pissed me off, because how come he can drink it and I can't? But he wasn't forcing it down my throat. He wasn't making me drink it. I'd actually asked him to support me, and he would say, Shannon, do you really want that alcohol? And I was just mad because he could drink it and I wasn't able to. So I've done my fair share of projecting in my life, as you can hear. Yeah, projecting. It's a big, humble pill to swallow when you realize that actually your frustration and anger that you're projecting onto the person that you love, in my case, my husband, was actually my frustration and anger around my choice to choose what wasn't actually working for me. And shitty of me to project it onto the person that's actually standing there wanting to support and love me. Again, choice. You know? Choice. So when things are not working out, why don't we pause? Why don't we pause and say, what's happening? What's going on right now? And realize that we have a choice. Like in that moment in the car when somebody's cut you off. You can honk your horn, scream and yell and be crazy. Or you could take a deep breath and go, that person's really in a big hurry today, or maybe they're off to the hospital to get their son who's just been in an accident. We don't know, but we can choose in that moment to make a different reaction. You know, if a family member or a friend is upset with you, you can choose to be silent, or you can choose to ask to sit down and have an adult conversation and have a heart to heart and figure out what's going on. You know, we can choose to look at the things that our partner does wrong all the time. You do this wrong, you do that wrong. Or you could choose to focus on what they do right. My husband's an amazing cook. My husband helped me get the kids out the door this morning. My husband does a lot of amazing things. You know, I can choose to yell at my kids last night because Abigail woke me up because she was scared downstairs. Or I can choose to ask her, what's going on and why are you afraid? You know, I can choose to do everything myself, or I can choose to learn to ask for help. You know, again, it's all in the choice, but it's also about taking time to pause in the moment and know that we have a choice. You know, I can choose to make everybody else happy, or I can choose to do what's right for me and make myself happy. So we can change the direction of our lives by a simple choice. It is all in our hands, our hearts, and our minds. And I want to say thank you to all of you who are listening today. And so wherever you are, I'm sending lots of love to you. And remember, in the moment, take a deep breath, slow down, and know that we always have choice. Love to you all. Have a fantastic day. Bye.